was in another dimension. You are now remembering what was actually there that no one else really knew was there. Well, a few others knew, but did not say. You are remembering.
Well, in the dream, I ran out to the spacecraft, and the light came down, and I assumed it was you, so I said, I was all excited, and hi, Bashar, and my mother came running out, and I got into the light with you, and there was another being there with you. I don't know who it was. And when I stepped out, actually my mother grabbed into the light, and I completely disintegrated into nothing.
Yes.
And you had this round object or something, and the place where my feet were, you touched me with that, and I came back into a being, and you said, don't you hate when that happens?
A little earth humor.
And then I remember my mother, she accepted that I was of your vibration now.
All right.
And she hugged me again, and I disintegrated into nothing.
All right.
But at this time, I had the thing that you touched me with, and
Yes.
I touched myself, and
Yes.
I became a whole being again.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, you are overlaying us and our symbology to some degree on another incident. Our vibration was included, but not the only one and not the primary one. But you are now familiar with our vibration, so you are able to use our vibration to overlay a past incident and make it comfortable for you to now recall the incident. And that is why you are now beginning to come out of your limbo state and able to move ahead, because you are now able to transform yourself with the magic wand of your own self-empowerment.
Yeah, I can feel that. I'm trusting a lot.
Yes.
More.
Yes. That stick, that wand is trust.
And another thing that happened about a month ago, I was sleeping and I woke up, and in my bedroom there was a craft, and it was not very large, but there were about 5 smaller crafts in my bedroom as well. And I remember being...
This is the next lesson. The next lesson is to understand the true nature of interdimensionality and how the idea and the concept of size and the interpenetration of one dimension into another may make it seem as if things are small or things are large. But all that is saying is that all dimensions are interpenetrated, contained, in a sense, within one another. The only way you have of interpreting that in your physical dimension is to see our craft or our consciousness projections as being small enough to fit into your room. There was an overlap. You are given the opportunity to understand that all information and knowledge is interpenetrated within you, that you contain it all, that it is all right there at your hands. You understand?
Yes, I do. Because when I was going to sleep, I was thinking, I really wish that I would experience something that I can trust was really there.
Yes. Our ships can appear to be very, very small or very, very big. It is not that they are actually growing or shrinking in your physiological terms. It is that we are moving in different dimensions in a different way relative to yours, so that from your perspective, you see our ship relative to the only way you can interpret where we are relative to you interdimensionally. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
It is not that we are literally shrinking or growing. To us, even though our ship may appear to be very small to you, we are still the same size to ourselves that we have always been. You understand?
Yes.
It is all relative in that sense, because space and time are your creations, and nothing but that. You are truly beginning to unlock, dissolve, break down those definitions, and so are capable of quite magical and miraculous and quick transformation. You will require this in your acting, and if you truly flow into it, you will be able to let anything go that really does not belong in the reality that you prefer, and you can trust it. You understand?
Yes, I do.
Well, thank you, Tinkerbell.
Thank you, Bashar.
There is a reason for that name. We're going to let you work on that one for now. Shoot! Greetings.
Hi, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I have a question about an agreement, perhaps, that was made through me, through a gentleman or a entity by the name of Jester that I would like to find out a little bit more about.
All right. What about it?
Well, I'd like to find out what my agreement is, if there is an agreement.
What do you feel it is? What do you want to do with this awareness?
Well, I'd like to explore it further.
How? What excites you? What method, what approach, what avenue, what path, what direction excites you?
Well, I guess that's part of where I'm...
Stuck?
Yes. For lack of a better word. Seems to be a number of avenues that the choices then become overwhelming.
The choices are overwhelming.
Kind of
All right.
paralysis of analysis.
Paralysis of analysis. Oh, very cute. It is much simpler than that. You don't have to allow it to be that complex. When we talk about the idea of attracting exciting choices and opportunities into your life, we have also added to that concept the notion that if two or more choices seem equally exciting and you don't know what to do, realize they never come with an equal ability to be acted upon. Always one will stand out based on the ability to be acted upon that it brings with it. So just because it may excite you equally to some other choice, it will not bring with it an equal ability to move in that direction. One of these choices will be obvious in terms of your ability to do something about acting on it. Now, take a quick scan of the choices that seem exciting to you. Does one stand out as more capable of you doing something about that choice?
Yes.
Which is it?
Contacting further this entity and trusting and letting it enlighten me with its information and wisdom.
Is there some way that you wish this information to be transmitted or transferred to other individuals? Do you wish to share this? Or is there simply this information for you?
Well, I think ultimately it will be for the benefit of everyone. I would like to share it, but at this point I would like to
get more used to it.
Or
organize it.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean put it in a perspective where I can present it with the utmost excitement and confidence that I have about it.
All right. Will you play for a minute? Will you relax your definitions and expectations and play for just a moment? Free-form association play.
Sure.
All right, thank you very much. Pomegranate.
Yes.
What's your response?
Fruit.
Didactic.
An abstract concept.
Swallow.
Throat.
Effervescent.
Personality.
Literary.
Novel.
Novel.
Literary.
New rule. You cannot repeat what I have said.
Okay.
But you knew that was coming, didn't you?
Somehow.
Yes. We're stretching something now.
I feel it.
All right. Novel.
Words.
Words.
Pages.
Script.
Acting.
Penmanship.
Automatic writing.
Thank you.
It took a while.
Yes. It's all right. It was fun.
It was.
Experiment with that. There will be information that will come through in that particular style that will lead you to the next step. Allow it to be completely unexpected, free form. No rules, no regulations. Just for you. Any way you want it, automatic writing, play with that for a while. That is our suggestion. That is the suggestion we have been recommended to tell you. For now. It may not last long. But the information that comes through will point you in the proper direction. All right?
Great. Thank you.
Thank you very much. At this timing, you may all enjoy a short break. We will resume contact in approximately 10 to 15 of your minutes of counting.
Hello, hello. Now? Yeah.
Yeah, we're both on. Okay in the booth? Okay. Y'all having a good time? Good. Me too, I think. The people going into the trance state, I know sometimes people have said it looks like I'm going through a lot of pain. I'm not. It's just bodily adjustment to the energy, so I'm having a good time. Don't worry about it. The sessions also, by the way, leave me energized, not drained.
All right, I'll say one moment while we make an adjustment. The issues that you have been discussing will now be discussed from a slightly different point of view. There will be some adjustment as this goes along for the acclimation to take place of the channeled consciousness to something that has not been experienced for a little while. If you wish a reference point, you may now understand that there is a collective blending taking place between the consciousness that you understand to be Bashar and the consciousness of the collective that is understood to be the association of worlds, so that we are in a sense speaking as one, with one voice, even though we are many minds. This idea will serve certain purposes of allowing each and every individual in this interaction to feel more of a collective and more cohesive understanding of different levels of energy within themselves, so that there will be created a synchronization and a crystallization of the energy of the different levels of your consciousness, so that you can bring yourselves together as one focused being, functioning instead of as many parts, functioning more as the idea of a whole entity, whole focus, whole consciousness. Our point of view will render certain kinds of translations that will be a little bit different than what you may be used to hearing through the entity of the focus called Bashar. One in primary will be the difference of how we refer to your particular dimension of physical reality. In this way, it will be a simpler translation for us to refer to it as the mind-matter mirror, recognizing that what you refer to as physical reality is nothing but such as that, the mind-matter mirror. Remembering that what you call matter is not something outside of you. That the issues that you refer to as mind over matter are not really accurately put in that way, thus implying that mind and matter are something separate, which they are not. Matter is mind is matter. Therefore, physical reality is nothing but a mind-matter mirror. allowing you to exist immersed in its holographic structure, allows you to experience the concepts of the dimensional time and space that you are so used to experiencing, but which are nothing more than projections within, projections of structure in the mind-matter mirror that is the consciousness that each and every one of you are individually and collectively and as one. We will have a tendency to refer to you and to interact with you more as one, rather than the idea of interaction as separate individualized components of consciousness. And as such, let us begin and continue the idea of the interaction in this way, with the version of the consciousness that is the collective you that you wish to present to us at this time. You may begin. And good afternoon in this way to you. You may, if you wish, refer to us, if you need such a name, as either the galactic or simply association.
Thank you. I would like an explanation of incidents that have occurred in my life. When I was 5, I just remember. Can you hear me? Hello? Yeah.
Always remember that you can take whatever action or initiation is necessary to make a statement of yourself in the reality of the mind-matter mirror as you see fit. Simply put, do not be shy.
Okay. Thank you. I had a memory when I was 5 years old of I saw a figure outside my window for 3 nights in a row.
Define such a figure.
It looked like a skeletal figure with large eyes and a very small body. And then the next incident that occurred was when I was 24. I was living in another country in Asia, and I saw some light in a configuration of triangles going across the sky in the village I had been living in. It went across the sky, then it went vertically up and then down, and it burst out into a white light.
Yes. Will you excuse while there is an adjustment that is made for a moment? We have absorbed what you have said. An adjustment is necessary to allow this particular energy to be handled more equitably. Consciousness, that is Stephen. Make adjustment to the amplification device, if you will now, by coming physically forward to the place where the channel sits. Put your amplification device in what would be called a standing position.
The mic in the standing position.
Make the adjustment as necessary. We will proceed from this point of view. Continue.
Also, most recently, I've been having a lot of very real dreams of spacecraft, viewing of spacecraft. Can you give me some sort of explanation or of why?
We are scanning. In the scanning of the archives that would be considered the collective totality of our consciousness, there are the comings and goings and crisscrossings of activities that are part and parcel of the unfoldment of your agreement to these beings, of your agreement to realize your connection to these beings, in the collection of information for them that will serve them, even as their awakening of your consciousness will serve you, to serve them, to serve you, to serve them, to serve you, in an ever-increasing spiral that will allow you to evolve and to become more crystalline and receptive in nature. You, in a sense, as with many beings upon your planet, chose to be born as representatives of different civilizations within the association and within civilizations of worlds and systems which do not belong to the association, because there is a high degree of focus upon your planet at this time, the planet that you would call Earth, a high degree of ability to extract experience and information from what is occurring in your dimension on your planet at this time. Thus, several different beings choose to project themselves into this realm of consciousness, even as you have, and in so doing, send back that information of your experience to those beings with whom you are connected, who will touch base with you from time to time, as you understand that term. And in touching base with you from time to time, will extract from you your collective experience up to that moment, and will give to you an awareness of yourself so that you can be in touch with your own program for the next steps that you will perform. This is parallel to the idea of the physical consciousness that you have chosen to represent yourself by. There is no contradiction in this. The idea of the job that you are performing as the being you chose to be by being born on your planet, and the job that you are performing as one of the beings that belong to that society. There is no conflict. All of these things are created to work in parallel, to work in tandem. As you proceed in the direction in your life of the thing that excites you, you take yourself into the realms of experiences that are exactly what you have agreed to experience, to give them knowledge of your civilization, to give them more of an understanding, to give us more of an understanding of your civilization, so that we may, within the very near future, interact with your civilization and allow there to be more of a blending to take place between your people and our people. Do you understand what we are saying so far?
Yes.
Is this forming any enlightenment for you, providing any understanding for you? Is there another avenue of this idea that you wish to explore?
No, this is fine. Thank you very much.
We thank you for allowing yourself to be presented in this way. We ask now that your consciousness allow itself to shift in whatever way it prefers to.
Thank you.
Greetings.
And greetings to you.
I'm very excited to talk with you. I have kind of a trippy question, or a trippy endeavor. I'd like to understand how your perception of our density of consciousness is. And I'd like to qualify that with kind of like setting some groundwork for the terminology. We are centered in a heart chakra, and below the heart chakra we have another cluster of awareness, or another center of awareness, the hips, and then the crown chakra, the head chakra. So there's a trinity of centers. Do you also have a trinity of centers that make up your being?
There is a trinity in principle within all of creation. There is a trinity in principle of structure within the physical reality that you understand as the mind-matter mirror. But there are many manifestations other than what you would call a trinity, based on the trinity. What you are describing now as the chakra points are outgrowths of the trinity, but do not manifest only in trinity form. You are seeing a multiplication, a geometric principle that has grown far from the idea of simply presenting itself in a trinary manner. Although the basis may be a trinary idea. What you are describing as the chakra gates are multifold, many more than you even understand you possess.
Well, I'm thinking about it like the hips were an ancient skull, and then there's the ball sockets and the legs emanate away from the heart chakra. The heart chakra is a skull that has exploded out and become the whole body, where the ball sockets would be the arms.
Then understand it from what you might understand to be five-fold symmetry, not trinary. For five-fold symmetry is the number of humanity, and in this sense is the expression of the unfolded heart chakra into human form. Five-fold symmetry, not three.
Yeah, okay. I understand an analogy there. The thing that I'm trying to say is that if your trinity is another density of awareness above ours, you would have dropped off the lower trinity, the physical trinity, and you would perceive the heart chakra from what we know as the head space. The seat of your being would be in our mental understanding, our mental perceptions of life.
We understand the reference that you are making. Truly, when there is evolvement in evolution from the idea of third density to fourth density to fifth density and in higher densities, that which you understand to be seated in your heart actually becomes the totality of the consciousness focus, yes. It is perceived only as the center of the consciousness focus. That which you now understand as the heart is actually the all, because it is that focus that is aligned with the unconditional love of creation.
Right.
And therefore you are an expression totally of what might be in your reality called the heart chakra in its limited focus.
In our reality, the heart chakra is seated in this density. In your reality, the heart chakra is seated in a different density. And what I'm saying is there's the head chakra above the heart chakra, which channels in and out belief systems. And what I'm curious about is our belief system, does that appear to you as a physical landscape?
Yes.
So our belief system to us is very tenuous, and people have a hard time grasping it. But in your density of awareness, when we believe something, it is literally a physicality. It's a landscape.
It is a topology, yes.
Right. So I was just wondering if we wanted to co-create. You ended your last interaction with the person that was talking that we would have comminglings of events and joint interaction in the very near future, and I was just wondering if we could share with you a landscape, a common belief that would be capable of this group to just create a belief, an image that would be an interaction, if you wanted to...
It is possible for island groups within the totality of our society to experience these island topologies. But because we now present ourselves to you as the collective of the association, understand that while it is possible to create these island topologies, we are now focused on the idea of allowing you to function as a total topology within your entire society. And it is by the creation and the manifestation of the total topology of your society to manifest in synchronous harmony with ours that any island topologies will have a greater chance of manifesting. Aim for the whole, in other words, and you will allow any portions to manifest more rapidly and more quickly. If you wish to explore the idea of one of these island topologies, however, you may do so and realize that you can take yourself into any of these universal bubble isolations and experience certain kinds of manifestations of interaction with many of our species.
Yeah, within those realms. Yeah, I was just wondering if you wanted to do a joint interaction like...
We are always broadcasting energy in such a way that this is possible for you. Understand, it takes no special request on your part. It takes only that you create yourself to be in the vibration that will match the vibrations that are already being sent to you from us. It is nothing that we have to interact with you on because we are already sending that vibration that can make it possible.
Oh, yeah.
That topology is already available to each and every one of you.
But as a group, if we all imaged a star above this onion, or a...
Yes, that topology is possible.
Yes, that's what I was talking about, for a group interaction, that we would put up a belief that there is literally a star or a symbol that you might conjure up and...
Again, we will not conjure. We provide the basic matrix of the holographic structure. It will be you and your organizational abilities that will allow there to be what will be called an island topology that will experience a similar reality, but that will be up to you. You exist on your planet, therefore you must take the control in that sense. You must take the action in that sense, and if you attract to yourself individuals who are aligned with your vibration, you will experience the same topology within your island universe. But our energy will be there already. How you interact with our holographic projection will be dependent upon how you can commingle your vibrational essences.
Because you move as time and space, and we move in time and space at this time.
In a sense.
In a sense, yeah. Okay, well, great talking with you. And
we thank you for sharing this perspective of the totality of your consciousness, and now ask that you may transform into any other perspective that you so desire.
Will do. Thank you.
Hello.
We greet this perspective of the totality and thank you for shifting into this new vibration.
I have two questions. One, I'd like to know what I could do to enhance my conscious contact with whomever or groups that are trying to work with me as a guide these days, since I feel my energy is ready for that now.
Do you have a desire to do this?
Yes, I do.
How strong is your desire?
Very.
What do you mean by very? Is your desire strong enough to allow the conviction of your words to permeate every aspect of your life to a totality?
Yes.
Then that will generate all the momentum that is necessary.
Okay. And the second question...
You must trust the timing of the events as well.
Okay. My second question has to do with the area that I work in, specifically in health, in AIDS research. Does the association have any suggestions for what I should be focusing on and contributing to that?
1, unconditional love. 2, again, the trusting of timing. 3, the projection and teaching to all phases of your totality that you create your own reality. Any manifestation that you desire that has to do with a physiological mind-matter mirror manifestation, what you might call a physiological substance, again, has been given many times in various ways. 1 will be the idea of substances that are in what you would call the berry family that can be extracted to create balance in the enzymatic structure of your immune system. Another will be the understanding that what you call your immune system is an extension of the brain, and that you can form a balance between the idea of the vibrational system of your immune system and the vibrations or frequencies of your brain. This can be done electromagnetically, similar to the devices you now have upon your planet that you would call the magnetic resonance imaging devices. For if they are shifted and focused in a different way, you can cause there to be a synchronization between the vibrational or frequency manifestations of your brain and the vibrational or frequency manifestations of your immune system, thus allowing an alignment to take place in which no possible disease can exist.
Thank you.
You may focus in this area if you wish.
Yes, thank you.
Not much yet has been explored with the idea
That's
of
right.
the polarization of magnetic resonance. Resonance is the key to allowing an individual to be permeated within a certain kind of electromagnetic field and allow there to be a balancing, a resetting back to the zero rest point of the body through this electromagnetic guidance. The creation of an electromagnetic template that represents the ideal state of the humaniform fivefold process in your physical third dimension will allow people to take their cue from that electromagnetic field and find themselves being refocused back to that original rest state. You understand?
Most of it. I'll listen to the tape and focus on it some more.
Are you familiar with the idea of
yes.
what might be called the electronic and physics and electromagnetic disciplines upon your planet to some degree?
Yes.
Will you explore these further with the understanding that resonance of certain frequencies, especially those that are primarily linked to the Earth, will allow there to be an identification or a synchronization that takes place within the body that will allow it to go back to its natural state? Do you understand that the idea of all disease is the body being held out of its natural state? And if the body is allowed to be back in its natural state, there will be no disease. You
Yes.
understand this idea?
Yes, I do.
We thank you for presenting this perspective of your totality to us.
Thank you.
You may now shift in whatever way you so desire to shift the totality of your perspective.
Hello.
And we greet this totality perspective.
I have an issue I'm dealing with about wanting to move forward in my counseling practice, and
Will you do something now for us?
yes.
Take 3 steps toward the physical channel. Have you done so? Yes. You have now moved forward. You may go back to your amplification device if you have gotten the point.
I got the point.
When you were asked to move forward in 3 physical steps, did you think about it or did you just do it?
I just did it.
This will be an analogy for how you can move forward in any way, shape, or form you so desire.
Okay. I guess I am moving forward, but like today I had this opportunity, and I was told about how to advertise on television. It really easy and inexpensively. I got this fear, and now I'm feeling this fear. Maybe I just have to go through the fear, and I am on the momentum of going forward. But there's a part of me that's like wanting to go back, but I don't think there's any place to go back to.
It is the abyss that was talked about in this way.
I know.
That when you create the concept of your razor's edge, there is nothing else for you.
Mm-hmm.
This in and of itself can be the sign that what is left will be workable for you, because the universe would not withdraw its support from you in this way. So if you look back and you find an abyss, the lack of support in those areas tell you that the lack of support in those areas are not areas that you can be supported in,
mm-hmm.
are not areas that are representative of who it is you really desire to be. Anything that is left, anything where you still find yourself standing, thus are the areas of true support that are truly representative of the being that you really are, of the focus that you really are, of the perspective of the totality that you choose to be. Do you understand this?
Yes, I understand it.
All of these spheres are the ideas of programming that exist in the particular version of the perspective of the totality that you are choosing to be. But you must define what this is. You must allow yourself to recognize what definitions that you have chosen to be at any given moment, and choose to be the definitions that you choose to be. Allow yourself to act in this direction. If you spend the time thinking, this is what has held you back. The analyzation, this is what has held you back. In this way, the taking of the steps is as simple as the taking of the physical steps that you took. 1, 2, 3. Allow yourself to move in that direction with confidence and understand that the universe supports you in the steps that you take in that direction, and no longer in this sense will provide support in the direction that no longer serves you, and thus gives you an absolute barometer of exactly what will work for you and what will not. An unerring guide that you can trust. Do you understand this concept?
I do.
Does this really give you assistance, or do you find yourself still shaking in your boots?
A little shaking, but I do understand. I mean, that's exactly where I am, and I see there is no place to go back to, so I don't really have a choice in a sense.
Will you please also understand one other thing? This is not something that we are doing to badger you in any way. We are not forcing you in any way. We are not chiding you in any way. We are not being condescending nor judgmental in any way. But to understand, to truly understand is to do. To mentalize the concept of understanding is to think and analyze. To truly understand is to do, to move, to step. For if you truly understand, you will have absolute faith in this. You will take the step and the leap of faith, and you will know that there will be ground there to support you. Do you understand?
I understand.
Does this help you?
Yes, it does.
We thank you for the sharing of this perspective of the totality of the consciousness of your dimension, and you may now shift in whatever way you so prefer.
Thank you very much.
Hello?
We greet the next face that you have presented to us as the totality that you are.
I was recently in the Soviet Union, and I was able, after much difficulty, to obtain a painting that I felt very attracted to of a spacecraft. And I have a mental picture of this craft, and I was wondering if you can give me any feedback as to what it is and how it represents an interaction with me.
The timing of this is no accident, for this is an association ship. There are many different contacts that are occurring in different places of your world. Different places in your world have different energies, different vibrations, and different frequencies, thus making it available for different members of our association to interact in different ways, more easily in different places with different members of your race. You will find that this is an association ship that has been perceived by that artist through his own telepathic abilities, seen but not seen, not exactly in your dimension, but perceived in our dimension, even though it did exist and place itself over your world in that area known to you as the Soviet Union, was placed in this way over the area known to you as Siberia, was understood by this individual to exist in an other dimensional state, and was painted in a form to represent this extra dimensionality that that craft contained, was not perceived in physical reality, but was perceived in hyperdimensional reality, and is an association ship, that which is representative of the collection of many different civilizations, and not belonging to any one particular civilization. Do you understand?
Yes.
The vibration of your attraction to that ship and that craft and that vibration and that coloration will allow there to be more connection for you by possessing that painting, to act as a window directly to the idea of the vibration of the association, one, and to act as an idea for the window of allowing the vibration of the association to interpenetrate the area that you will bring the painting to. Two. Do you understand those two concepts?
Yes.
The painting is a valve. The painting is a gate. The painting is a dimensional transformational gate that will allow you to interact with the association more directly and will allow the energy of the association to come through the painting to the area that you bring the painting to. Do you understand?
Yes.
Does this answer the whole question, or do you have something else that you wish to discuss about this notion?
At the bottom, around the base of the craft, there are some white things that look like
filaments.
They look like feathers. They're rather thick.
Filaments. They are electromagnetic filaments.
Are they
very fine electromagnetic grids that express to you the idea of what we have referred to in the past as the ID called the flash matrix. The flash matrix is a device which transforms light into the power that drives the craft. It is an energy gathering device unlike any that you have upon your planet in this way. The flash matrix takes what you would understand to be light and steps it up to multidimensional levels. Do you understand? It is this portion that is represented in the painting of the craft that allows us to tunnel interdimensionally, that creates the isolation field around the craft. Do you understand?
How does it relate to the blue energy fibers at the top of the craft?
Blue, again, the electromagnetic energy vibration that is representative of the association of the higher magnetic realms. Blue is your interpretation, your dimension's interpretation of the higher dimensional realms. And thus you see the energy coming in and being dispersed, utilized top and bottom in this way to form a balance in the polarity of the craft and create an energy bubble around the craft. But blue is your interpretation of the higher dimensional energy. It can only translate in your reality as the concept that you understand as blue. There are other colors that you cannot see with your physical eyes. But if you look at the painting, I promise you, you will see the other colors if you allow yourself to go into the proper state of hyperdimensional space.
Can you define the thick energy beam that goes straight out of the painting at the top?
It is intention. Do you understand that concept?
Not in relation to
it is our focused, combined, collective intention. It is the expression of that where we wish to be, we are. Who we wish to be, we are. We are here, we are now. It is the beam, the focus, the laser of intention. Do you understand? It is an interpretation of the understanding of the directness of our connection to all that is. The line that connects everywhere, everyone, all the time. It is the beam of intention. In your reality, you would experience this as an idea called conviction, and would experience this beam coming up from the top of your crown chakra to connect you to all the higher dimensionalities, so that you will be sliding down a pole from one dimension that is higher to a dimension that is lower. It is an analogy. Do you understand?
Yes.
It is the beam of intention.
Can I use that in my normal life?
No.
Only through interacting with the association?
Do you believe what I have said to you?
I know, you're being facetious.
Yes. We are exercising an art form upon your planet that is known as sarcasm. Of course you can use it because you have deigned that you can use it. Because you have designed that you can use it. Because you have desired that you can use it. Because you have dreamed that you can use it. Because you know what it is and know how it feels, of course you can use it. You have created it for yourself, have you not? You have attracted the painting to yourself, have you not?
Yes.
Then of course you are already using it. For in using it with your intention, you have brought the painting to you. It has slid to you along that beam of light. Do you understand?
Yes.
It has slid to you in your reality along the beam of your intention. The intention is a beam, a laser-like focus. It is another way of saying what? What? The razor's edge. That is what it is. The line is the razor's edge. The beam of intention. That is what razor's edge is.
The last thing, is there any way I can accelerate my relationship with the association through this painting?
As I have already suggested, the idea of allowing yourself to focus upon the painting and allow it to reflect to you those aspects of yourself it will help you discover, and then apply those newly discovered aspects of your consciousness and your physiology.
Because there's really no way I can prove that to you. And therefore it's not important, and in no way do we insist that you must believe that Bashar is real. The most critical thing in these interactions is the information. It does seem to have some value when applied into our lives. It does seem to make some changes. So if the information works for you, then by all means use it. If it doesn't, then you'll get what you need somewhere else. But bottom line is basically that there's a lot of fun in these interactions. They're very informal. And it gives us an opportunity to sort of examine things from a different point of view. So by all means, enjoy it. You don't have to really take it too seriously, but there's a lot of information that can make some changes if you want it to. Thank you again for coming. I don't think there's any other announcements immediately that we need to make. If there are, we'll make them at the break. And have a good time. See you later.
All right, I'll say good day to each and every one of you this day of your time. We will begin this interaction with a few words on the concept of you doing those things in life which excite you the most, and how you can get a stronger understanding of how to home in, how to zero in, as you say, on the doing of those things. If you wish, you may entitle this interaction The Razor's Edge. This will have very much to do, by analogy, to the idea of what many of you are learning now as you pursue your spiritual and or metaphysical understanding. What we mean by the razor's edge is the following concept. Many of you have been exploring the idea of spirituality for quite some time. You have begun to see certain effects of your metaphysical knowledge manifesting in your physical reality, making certain changes here, making certain changes there. But now and then we hear many of you say, well, I was going along fine, everything seemed to be rolling along, and then all of a sudden everything went, as you say, kaput. Everything seemed to go down the drain. Everything became more difficult. All the obstacles started cropping up. And whereas I was doing fine a few weeks ago, all of a sudden everything seems to be at a standstill, and I do not know what I am doing wrong. The idea is to understand the following thing. As you pursue the thing that excites you the most in life, you begin to narrow down all of the preferences to those few things that are truly representative of the thing that excites you, of the path that you really prefer. As you narrow down these choices, narrow down these preferences, the things that you have to choose from that are representative of what you do prefer in life become less and less and less, fewer and fewer and fewer. In other words, whereas before you may have been able to operate within, shall we say, a certain wide range of opportunities, now there are fewer and fewer and fewer opportunities in your life that actually represent the path that you prefer. You have less margin of, shall we say, slop. You now are required, as you pursue the idea of what excites you, to have far more precision in understanding that the choices you make, if they are not representative of the thing that excites you, then they will not work for you at all. Before, you may have been able, shall we put it this way, to get away with things that were peripheral to the ideas that excited you, that perhaps were not exactly aligned with it, but still contained some of the elements of the thing that you knew you preferred. But each time you choose to take a step in the direction of the thing that you prefer, and only move in that direction, you yourself eliminate the choices that do not contain as much of the elements that you prefer in them. You weed them out, and your path, in a sense, becomes narrower and narrower and narrower. Now, there is a paradox in this, because the idea is that even though it may seem that the path becomes narrower, even though it may reduce itself to a fine line, and you may feel as if you are walking a thin, tight rope, in actual fact, this is far more stable. When you make the choice to stay on the one line, in the only direction that you really prefer, it becomes very, very wide, very stable, in the sense that you cannot in any way, shape, or form get off of that path, fall off of that line. The idea becomes simply that if you are off it, it is because you are choosing things that are not as purely representative of the one thing you say really motivates you, of the one way that you prefer it to be. Now, there is a trick in this as well. I use the word trick, but you will understand what I mean. It is very cleverly arranged, this mechanism. Because as you continue to choose the things that you prefer, and as you begin to weed away those choices that do not contain as much of your preference, another thing starts to happen. By choosing those things that excite you, and only those things, all the other things, all the other choices begin to disappear from you. In a sense, begin to be taken away from you. So that sometimes you get to a point where you're moving along the path that excites you, that you say excites you. And then perhaps you have some second thoughts. Perhaps you find yourself doubting this path. And you look back, look for something else to fall on. And it's not there. All of a sudden you are staring into an abyss. You begin to realize that as you make those choices, you are truly, truly, truly telling the universe, I want no other choices other than those that represent what really excites me. Therefore, do not even begin to show them to me. Do not even begin to give me the opportunity to fall back, to settle for less, to have anything but the choices that really represent what I want. And so, perhaps if you come across those moments of doubts, you look back and there is nothing. And perhaps this makes you afraid. But that's all right, because it is a way for you to know that your reality is working just fine, that the universe is supporting you in the doing of the thing that you really love to do, and is helping you stay aligned with that path by removing any other choices. At first it may cause a few of you to panic a little bit, but it is really all right. The safest thing to do, the most stable thing to do, is to continue to move straight ahead and only take those choices that are really representative of what you know in your heart is really who you are, your real preference. That will accelerate you. And it is that acceleration, that speed, that forward momentum that will keep you securely aligned on that apparently thin line. The line only needs to be representative of the one path you choose to be at any given moment. So it doesn't have to be very wide. You do not have to feel that you are walking a tightrope. You will not fall off. You can only choose to get off. But again, you now are beginning to find that the mechanism itself is giving you fewer choices to get off to the side on. So you are streamlining, refining your ability, your mechanism of creation in this way. Do not fear it. Do not panic. It is exactly how it is supposed to work for you. The razor's edge is all you need. And that sharpness will cut through any and all of the so-called blocks and the so-called obstacles, allowing you to have a crystal clarity, allowing you to trust your instincts and your inner sight about the things you say are really representative of the type of reality you want. Because you can have it. You can have it. You can have the reality you prefer and nothing but the reality you prefer. And for many of you, this may still sound like it is too good to be true, but it is not. Allow yourselves to trust it. You will accelerate and you will cut through all of the remaining barriers. Now, you have created recently, we believe, a little bit of a shift in your consciousness. Congratulations. All the indications of the earth movements are indications of movement within your own consciousness, shifts in your own perspective. And it is no accident that the releasing rain occurred at the same time as your earth movement. You are now beginning to see more synchronicities within all of the different things that are happening or manifesting within the phenomena of nature around you, because you are beginning to really realize that nature around you is really an extension of you. That you are an extension of it, and that you are beginning to coordinate and harmonize and synchronize. And any changes within nature are changes within your consciousness that propel you into another point of view, another direction. Roll with it. Roll with it. Let the energy through you. Do not create resistance, and you will be able to ride it out in a positive way. Nothing will affect you negatively if you ride with the flow. Now, there may be another shift which will occur between now and your July of 7th. So be aware that this is a possibility, but ride with it. Ride with it. Do not be afraid. Let yourselves know and remember that the reality you prefer is the reality you will experience if but you put your faith in that. And that faith is not a nebulous idea, not just a philosophical point of view, but a true mechanism of creation. That which you believe is what you get. Remember that there are only the three principles which really are the laws of all creation. One, that you exist. That is the first law, that you exist. It is the first absolute. The other two are both based on the first absolute. The second is that the all is one and the one is all. The third is that what you give is what you receive. These three are the only absolutes. And the second two are based on the first in the following way. The first being that you exist. This is the only thing that you can be certain of. It is the only thing you can prove to yourself, that you exist. You cannot prove it to anyone else. But conversely, you also cannot necessarily prove to yourself in the classical sense that anyone else but you exists. Everyone could be just a projection of your consciousness, and in a sense, actually is. But in your physical terms, let's keep this on a pragmatic level. You cannot empirically prove that anyone else is anything but a projection of your consciousness. To you, you are the only one that really knows you exist. Since that is the only thing you can be certain of, then you can extrapolate the second principle from that all is one and one is all. And that simply means that anything you perceive, since you're the only one that knows for certain you exist, must be an extension of you, of your existence. And what you give is what you receive is also an extension of that idea. Because whatever state you are in, whatever state or vibration your consciousness is, must then determine what state this perception around you will be in, what it will reflect to you, what it will echo to you. So those are the three absolutes. You exist. The one is all, the all is one. What you give is what you receive. That is all you really need to base any of your desires or wishes upon. This is not meant in a selfish way. You can still share. You can still be open. You can still feel the unconditional love of creation in the existence of your consciousness. But at the same time, understand that you can move ahead with what you desire to have in your life just because you desire it. There is no other reason that is needed to manifest what you prefer other than you have said this is what you prefer. The universe will help to manifest it because the mechanism is you and you are that mechanism. Plain and simple. Keep it simple, keep it down to the razor's edge, the simplest possible point of view. And everything else, all of the complexities, will clarify, simplify, dissolve. We thank you for creating this interaction with yourself. We ask in return now, what way may we be of service to you? You may begin with sharing. Speak up and be bold so that all may share.
Hello, Bashar.
Good day to you.
First of all, I want to let you know that I really appreciate to interact with you and that I'm proud of myself to create this into my life.
Oh, I thank you very much for allowing us to reflect the inner light of your own being to you. What do you wish to share?
Okay, I had an incident a few years ago. I was at my mother's house in Germany, and in the middle of the night I woke up and the radio was on, and I knew the radio wasn't on when I went to bed, and there was no station. It was just the noise, you know, when the radio's on very loud, and the noise was in my head too, and I was scared to death, and I screamed, and I ran into my mother's bedroom. I was not a child then anymore, so she said already I'm crazy, and I went. There were extraterrestrials in my head, and I wasn't so much into that stuff that like I'm today. So I was wondering what that was, and if you could give me some.
Do understand that there are many contacts telepathically that occur throughout your world all the time. Remember, we spoke last time that many of our civilization, many of other civilizations are always broadcasting on certain frequencies of consciousness. When any of you, choose to become sensitive, choose to enter those frequencies, you will pick up those broadcasts. By entering those frequencies, you will send out an echo, a reflection that lets us know you have arrived at a certain point in your consciousness where you are ready to receive information that allows you to grow to another stage. Mm-hmm. Particularly in your adolescent years, you will be very psychically sensitive, all of you. That is where you begin to open up to new possibilities, to more awareness of yourself inwardly as a consciousness, and begin to tap into other streams of reality, other possibilities. So you picked up upon a broadcast, a wide beam telepathic broadcast, and it made changes within you. Mm-hmm. Changes that are automatic for anyone who chooses to jump into, to tap into that beam, that broadcast, when they do. In a sense, to some degree, although of course this has to be part and parcel aligned with your own choices, but to some degree, it was that awareness, that tapping into that telepathic broadcast that allowed you to have the understanding you have today about what is going on, and allows you to interact with us in this way, and interact with other beings in your dream state, and interact with your own higher self. It was a catalyst to spur you in this direction, should that have been your continued choice. You understand?
Yes.
Does this help you?
Yes. Thank you very much.
Is there anything else about this you wish to discuss?
No.
All right. Then thank you for your sharing.
Thank you.
Next, sharing.
Very happy to be interacting with you, Bashar.
And you as well. Speak up and be bold so that all may share.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right.
I can see why I got picked today, because your topic is right in line with my question.
All right. Have you cut yourself on the razor's edge lately?
Well, I'm not sure where I am, and
right.
I guess I need clarity, perhaps, as to my direction. I've been feeling sort of discouraged and stuck, maybe is the word, because it seems most of my life I've been looking for work that excites me and will provide me with financial remuneration, and I had yet to find any job in my life that I've ever enjoyed. So finally, last year, I followed my excitement and, started a business with clothing with crystals on it. And symbols. And I thought, oh boy, this is it, And, I don't know, it's kind of...
All right. Thank you. Understand one thing that is very important. When you follow the thing at any given moment that excites you, you might be able to realize in that moment, yes, this is it. But if that phrase means to you, this is it, the only thing I will now ever have to do in the rest of my life, and there will be no other changes, then that is an incorrect interpretation of that understanding of doing what excites you at any given moment. Let me point out something very important about this. When we talk about the thing that excites you the most, it can be representative of what might be called a life-spanning career, or it might be representative of simply doing at any given moment whatever is the thing at that moment that excites you the most. At the same time that it can be either or both of these, always remember that when something excites you, when the excitement lures you in a certain direction, that doesn't necessarily mean that the thing that is luring you with excitement will be the thing you must complete. Many times, certain things, certain situations lure you in a certain direction with excitement because that's simply the direction you have to move in. The completion of the thing that lures you is only your assumption. It is an expectation that you are adding to your definitional equation that says, well, if this is the thing that lured me, then that must be the thing I will complete, that I will actually do. That is not the case. That is why we always say, follow at any given moment the thread that is the most exciting, and if it changes, follow the excitement, even if it seems to have nothing at all to do with the thing that might have originally lured you with excitement. Because the things that lure you with excitement aren't always expected to be completed. They perhaps were only for the purpose of getting you to step in a certain direction, getting you to learn certain things up to a certain point, and then the next thing that excites you, the change in your focus, is the way that you need to go. Because many of you have created the idea that you must do a specific type of work, that you must commit yourself to a specific type of career, you generally automatically attach to the thing that excites you the expectation that you must carry it to some form of completion. The only way you need to carry the thing that excites you to a form of completion is if it completely and continually excites you on the same level. But if the excitement shifts, go with the shift. The only thing that would hold you back is the hesitation, the confusion, the surprise, that all of a sudden the thing that excited you a moment ago doesn't excite you anymore. And you think, oh, something's wrong. What happened? It didn't do what I thought it should do. It didn't provide what I thought it should provide. Sometimes it is the continuation of the motion into many different consecutive exciting things that will provide the momentum of abundance that you seek. Not one thing or another, but the motion of many things, one after another, that might be more representative of your expanded abilities. And that might provide you with the idea of the abundance that you seek. Is this making some sense to you mechanically?
Yes, very much, because as you were saying that's the second part of my question, is that in the clothing, I then moved into realizing how much I love crystals and gemstones.
All right.
So I've been very excited about those. I get very excited with the color and the shape, and I really love them. But it's like I need some confirmation. I've sort of been asking, that if this is really my next step, is that my focus? Is that the energy I'm projecting, or the...
Is it the thing that excites you the most? And the answer is yes. But it is not so much confirmation that you need as it is an opening of your imagination and an opening of your ability to perceive what opportunities present themselves to you in any given situation that you can act upon. Because for many individuals, because of old habits, you are locked into an inability to even recognize an opportunity when it presents itself to you. They are invisible to you because you're not used to recognizing such and such as an opportunity. But you must act on it. You must learn how to act on the opportunities that present themselves to you. And again, that's why we usually say follow the feeling, not the analytical process that judges or analyzes the idea of what is an opportunity and what is not an opportunity. The idea is to recognize the excitement that it instills within you and move with it. Move in that direction. That's how any particular opportunity lets you know it is there. First of all, you receive a cessation of the old excitement. It stops. It seems as if the wind has been taken out of your sails. All right? So you drift. Then all you need to do is relax into that centered self. Don't panic. Go inward. Expand your imagination and take the time to look around and see what presents itself as an apparent opportunity that you may have not been able to see before. And do not judge it. Do not label it. Do not define it as being impossible as an opportunity. Allow other people in your reality to assist you as well. Share the idea of what it is you are doing and let yourself receive from other people and other avenues suggestions. Now, you do not have to follow what does not excite you, but put yourself out there totally in the thing that you really love to do at any given moment. This is one of the things that prevents many of you from not allowing yourself to see the opportunities that are there, is that when you are doing the thing that you say excites you the most, you actually don't even put yourself out as far as you really could to let people know that this is who you are and that you really exist and that this is the thing that you really are excited about doing. And if you don't let the world know, then you don't get the feedback mechanism that brings you the opportunities that otherwise you will not see. It is a matter of absolute conviction at any given moment in the doing of whatever you're doing, without the fear of looking wishy-washy to other people. Oh, she changed her mind again. What is wrong with her? She can't stay focused. The idea is to be focused at any given moment on whatever it is at that moment truly represents the thing you are all about. Now, there may be a type of continuity in that for some people, but for other people there may not be. They may pop all over the place, but that's the way they are. And if you allow yourself to know that that's all right, then you can go with that flow, and that momentum is what will provide the abundance. But you must be fully convicted in that type of approach if that's who you are. Make sense?
Well, it does, only I'm not sure that I have that conviction. I mean, I know that that's the one thing right now that totally, I can't think of anything else to do right now.
Then why not throw yourself into it completely? If there is nothing else that comes to mind, where else are you going to put your conviction?
I know, but I need to make some money right now. And so there's that conflict of, well, should I just go out and get a job, which sounds yuck.
All right. Again, remember, you must use all of the information that goes in with this idea. Remember that we have also said, if there is something that really excites you more than anything else, and you have done your best, but still cannot see any way that you can act on it, then do the next most exciting thing. You still have many options. You do not have to choose something that you do not prefer, but you can attract something that is still exciting to you, the next most exciting thing that you are capable of doing something about. You don't have to create a wide gap between, oh, here's the thing that really excites me, but I can't do anything about it, and anything else is junk. There are many, many things that are very, very close to what may be the most exciting thing that you can do something about. Allow yourself to attract yourself to something that is still exciting, but that you can act on. Those are also opportunities that can present themselves to you. Do not assume that it is all or nothing. Focus on the thing that excites you the most, but be willing and be open to attracting something that will not necessarily be that thing, but will still be exciting. There is no reason, never, no reason why you should ever have to settle for something that does not move you.
Good.
You understand? Do you understand?
I understand.
Now, I understand what appears to be your dilemma. Well, I need money now so I can do the exciting thing, and I want to do the exciting thing so I can make more money. But you are creating what is called a catch-22 for yourself. You must firmly allow yourself to know that any and all abundance is connected to the action of doing the thing that excites you or moving in that direction. Listen again. Any and all abundance that you require is and always must be connected to the action of moving in the direction of your excitement.
I
so
accept
take
that.
the steps. Take the steps that you may not be taking. And you will then attract whatever opportunities you need to attract that will still be exciting. They will bring you whatever abundance you require. But you must take the steps in that direction. You cannot wait for the money, nor do something that you do not like to do just to make the money, because then you are selling yourself out, so to speak. You are short-circuiting your ability to attract the abundance in the way you prefer to by saying, all right, I will settle for something I do not like in order just to make the money, which is not really something that excites me.
Right.
You are filling your reality with something you don't want, and then there is no room for the thing you really do. This is a leap of faith. This is a leap of faith. If you really are doing your best and really moving in the direction and taking the steps of the thing that excites you, then you're going to have to trust that the timing is what it needs to be. And you may have to discover other ways that you have not yet considered of creating a reality that will not necessarily make such a monetary demand on you. You see, you may have to work it from the other side. You may only be assuming, well, I need this money and I need that money. And in many cases, that may not be so. You may be able to rearrange your reality so that what you now think is essential to have money for is not. And therefore, you may be giving yourself an opportunity to examine that side of your consciousness. You understand?
I do, yes.
Does this help you?
Yes, it does. There's just one little piece that I have to ask about, and that...
Oh, well, pick it up off the floor and let's have a look at it.
Pick up that crystal over there. Is that the focus of... I feel that I would like to use crystals in a healing manner.
Yes. Have you done so?
Well, I sort of, played around with some friends and work on myself. And, I mean, I really enjoy that.
Yes.
But it seems that it seems like that's so old Atlantean stuff, and like maybe there needs to be some new way to use crystals. And
such as?
I'm not sure.
Oh, yes. Here's the short circuit. Where's your imagination? If you're aware that there must be some new way, then certainly your imagination has given you at least a glimpse, at least a flash, at least a flicker of what that new way might be. Don't be shy. Share. What do you think might be the way that would feel correct for you now, since you're no longer in Atlantis?
Well, I thought it was when I, we're putting the crystals on clothing. I thought, well, no, that's kind of a little different.
All right, but you changed your idea.
And
what does it change to? You have just said, well, I like the idea of using the crystals for healing, but I don't want to do it the old Atlantean way. How do you want to do it?
I guess that hasn't really come through yet.
Well, you haven't let it.
Conscious level.
You haven't let it. Why don't you let it come through?
No. Well, I mean, I'd like to.
Why don't you let it?
I will.
That's not answering my question. Why don't you let it come through?
You mean this minute?
Why don't you let it? What are you afraid of? Why don't you let it come through? I'm actually asking you a question.
Well, now
why are you not letting it come through?
I may be not letting it come through because I'm afraid of failure.
Failure in what
it,
way?
Well, of carrying it out, of going ahead like with the other
All right.
project, of maybe not manifesting it
good.
again.
Good. Thank you for being honest. That's the important thing. You must acknowledge whatever fear you have and process through it. So let's use your imagination in the negative if that's where it's focused. What do you imagine would be the worst thing that could possibly happen?
Well, that I would just... Well, I don't have any more money to spend, so I can't worry about that.
May I ask you another question before you proceed? Why is it easier for your imagination to imagine a negative scenario than a positive one? You had no problem conjuring up dozens of images when I asked you about the negative scenario, but it was very difficult for you to see the positive idea. I can't see that. I can't let it through. Well, let's go the negative. Oh, yes, doom and gloom. Look at all the destruction happening to me. This is what I'm afraid of.
Well, that's what's been the experience, though. The other has not manifested as much as that has, so that's why it's...
But you're saying it backwards. Yes, that has been the experience. But why? Because that has been the belief.
Right, I agree with you.
All right. So let's change the belief right now. Now, allow yourself to use your imagination in the positive way. Let yourself see right now how you could use the crystals, if that's what you really want to do. Can you share with me at least one idea for how you could use them in a way that is exciting to you now, as the person you are at this moment, taking into account that this could change in the very next second? Come.
Well, I know. It's mostly just a
Say it.
Visual excitement.
Say it. What do you see yourself doing? Imagine that you have a crystal.
Okay.
What type of crystal is it?
It's a blue topaz.
All right. So. Thank you very much. Now, was that difficult?
No.
All right. Now, which hand is it in?
It's in the left.
All right. What are you doing with it? What do you want to do with it? How do you want to use it?
I guess I want to know.
Don't guess. How do you want to use it?
I want to connect with the consciousness within the crystal. And I want the information that's in the crystal.
All right. How will you go about this?
I've spoken to the crystals, and I guess I doubt the answers.
Yes.
Okay. I'm doubting the answers that come. I'll hold a crystal in my hand.
And what is doubt? Remember, what is doubt? Do you remember our definition of doubt?
No, fear?
No. Well, yes, it's in there, but that's not the definition of doubt. Fear causes you to doubt, but that is not the definition of doubt. Yes, you doubt the information you are getting. Remember that doubt is not a lack of trust. Doubt is a 100% trust in a reality you don't prefer.
Right, now I remember.
So why trust that reality if you don't prefer it?
Right.
What do you prefer to trust?
I prefer to trust in my own belief in myself.
Thank you. There's a lot of self-judgment here, is there not?
Yes.
I'm not good enough to be accurate.
Right. That's the belief. That's the core belief.
Yes.
That's the core belief. You're right.
But who created that belief?
Oh, I did.
Yes. So who can change that belief?
I can.
Yes. Is there anyone else who has the power to impose that belief upon you?
Nope. Just me.
Nope. Just you. Do you prefer that belief any longer?
No, absolutely not.
Thank
I
you
dismiss
very much.
it this moment.
Thank you. What belief do you now prefer?
I prefer to believe in myself and my abilities, to follow my excitement and live on the razor's edge.
Oh, right. Now, if you act that way in body, mind, and spirit, you will get information, and you will simply know that the information is accurate for you at that moment because you say so.
Okay.
Simple, isn't it?
Yes.
That's what unconditional trust is all about.
Right. Just because I say so.
Just because you say so, it is exactly what it needs to be for you at this moment. That could change in the next second. But you will know, won't you?
Okay.
Does that help you?
Yes, that helps a lot. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You will see a difference.
Good. Thank you.
Next, Sherry.
Hi, Bashar.
And good day to you.
I wanted to ask a question about our government.
Can you all hear this individual? Speak up and be bold, please.
I wanted to ask a question about the government.
The government, yes.
America's government.
All right.
Specifically, I find myself channeling a lot of negative energy and anger and frustration towards our government.
All right.
And I know it's not productive to do so.
All right. You know that channeling that energy toward your government is also channeling it toward yourself, yes?
Yes.
You are your government, yes?
Yes.
All right.
What I want to ask is how, given the state of our government, how I can turn that into a positive kind of interaction. And, sometimes it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel with, with our enlightened leaders. And
was that sarcasm?
Yes, it was.
All right.
And I want to know how to use, what I can do individually to make it a positive thing. And
all right. Are you aware of individuals that exist in your society that have formed groups that do beneficial things to make change in beneficial ways, in non-accusatory ways, in positive, loving ways?
Yes.
Can you emulate any of these individuals or groups in whatever way you wish to, either by joining them or by creating a group of your own that functions in the same unconditionally loving way to make change for the positive without judging, without condemning?
Yes, I can, but I doubt sometimes how effective that is, because I see individuals and groups out there who are doing that, and yet it's not having an effect.
I will tell you something now. You have hit upon the core of it. When you said, I doubt how effective that will be, what you are saying right now is the playback of a tape running around in your head, and that tape running around in your head that allows you to say, I doubt how effective that will be, is a tape that you have been fed by the way you have structured your society and your government. You are now quoting government policy. I doubt that will be effective because you are only a little man. You cannot fight City Hall. So now you, right now, with that statement, are an absolutely perfect representative of the government you say you don't like. So if you don't want to be that government, and if you want to allow that government to change, then you must change that tape. I can make a difference. I will make a difference. I will do it in whatever way I believe is most exciting to me, in the most unconditionally loving way I know how. I will make a difference. That's the tape that will erase the other tape and will allow the government to change in time. Mm-hmm. But as long as you go about believing that you can't make a difference, then you will not see the difference that other people may be making because you are not existing in their world. But ask them. They see differences. When you shift over into that reality and that point of view, you will also see a difference. Because I remind you, each and every one of you is your own earth. And whatever vibration you exist upon is the earth you get. You cannot see the earth you want unless you choose to live on the earth you prefer. You understand?
Yes, I do.
Does this help you?
Yes.
Every individual makes a difference. Why? Because every individual is the whole. Remember, there are only three absolutes. You exist. All is one. One is all. What you give is what you receive. If you want to see that kind of a reality, you have to change yourself first. Change yourself, you will see a difference. Mm-hmm. Understand?
Yes, I do.
Does that help you?
It's very helpful, Bashar.
Thank you very much for making a difference. Next, sharing.
Shivai, Bashar.
And Shivai to you.
Are we still having that guest speaker?
Speak up so that all may share.
Is the guest speaker going to appear today?
Yes, the guest speaker is still coming.
I wanted to ask you specifically, as you accelerate into fourth density awareness, does your oxygen content increase? Do you still breathe? You don't eat? You don't sleep?
Less and less and less necessary are the things of the physical realm over time. at first you will find that there will actually be more oxygenation because you are also transforming bit by bit over time more from a carbon base into a silicon base. And the combination of the oxygen and the silicon combines to make you more crystalline and thus better receivers of universal energy. But as you move from fourth density to fifth, you move out of the physiological plane altogether and rely less and less and less on any kind of physiological sustenance for support. Does that answer your question?
Yes. And one other thing I wanted to ask you about is the nature of the interaction with the zetas.
Yes.
That's preventing them from full participation in the association. Because you've often reflected to us how all interactions are detainments, as the association prefers to call them,
yes,
are done by an agreement. But yet you've cited that the nature of the interaction with our species has prevented them from participation in the association.
Agreements on every level are necessary for the open participation or involvement with the association. When we say that these agreements have been made, we are referring to the fact that these agreements between your people and the people you are referring to as the Zetas, these agreements exist on higher levels. But until it also has been manifested on a physiological level, then there is not cohesiveness with the agreement all the way down the line. You understand?
Yeah.
Does that answer the question?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm very excited to be here. I have a couple things.
All right. I am very excited to be here as well.
I feel like I've just, after 2 years of being in the limbo state, am starting to wake up and do what it excites me to do.
All right. And what is that? Do share. Who are you? What excites you?
I'm starting to do acting.
Acting. All right.
I'm still holding on to my job, but I'm starting to do it, and it's very exciting.
All right. Why are you holding on to your job? Does it excite you?
Right now, yes, because
Yes.
it makes it easier for me to go on to do the acting because of the income.
All right, if you say so.
Yeah, well,
that's all right.
I believe
it's
in
all
that.
right. It's all right. I understand what you are saying and all the ramifications.
I'm not
judging it
completely. Thank you.
But you do know that when you completely let that go, if you only want to do the acting, then you will let it go. If, however, the exciting definition of your reality is to do the acting and do the job, then that's the definition that excites you. It's up to you to determine what the definition actually is.
I think I'll let it go when I trust more.
Oh, all right.
But there's a dream that I wanted to ask you about. Actually, there's a couple of them. I had a dream that I was back home in Ohio, and there was a huge spacecraft in the front yard, and I went running around the house and I was telling everyone that it was there, and they were all real afraid.
What age were you in the dream?
It was just recently, the dream that I had.
What age were you in the dream?
Oh, in the dream I was maybe 12.
Is that the age you were in Ohio?
Yes.
You are remembering something that actually happened, that you have not remembered, that you were able to see as a child.
I don't know why. I'm just very excited about it.
I have a favor to ask of you.
Okay.
Become the you that knows why. What are you going to see? Who are you going to be? Who are you going to choose to express yourself as in your particular expression of the totality, in your Britain? What is Britain to you? What is ancient? What is now? What is future of Britain to you? How does it taste? How does it smell? How does it feel? How do your senses react to the concept of the place on your planet called Britain? You know you have past associations to the idea of Britain.
It feels green and it feels like home.
What will you do when you are in Britain?
That's what my question was about. I feel very drawn to going to southern England and also equally drawn to going to northern Scotland. and I don't think I have enough time to explore both areas as thoroughly as I'm anticipating I'm going to want to.
The you that you are now does not wish to create enough time to explore these areas.
Right.
Does the you wish to be have enough time to explore these areas? All the time that is necessary will be created by the you will be when you are in Britain.
Okay.
Trust the timing. Will you stand in one of the circles?
I plan to, yes.
Stand in the one that is the key. Stand in the one that is the key. Stand in the one that is the shape of the key. Do you understand? Find it, stand in it. Stand in the one that is the shape of the key.
Okay.
Watch the direction that it points. Understand the magnetic line along which it points. You will open a new door. You will have a new key. You'll have a new understanding. Stand in the one that is the key. The shape of the key. Do you understand?
Yes. Thank you.
Go in the direction that it points. It is also a clock, and it will tell you whether you have enough time, whether you have become the you that has created enough time in your reality to go in the direction that it points and to open the door that it suggests is openable for you. Do you understand? Stand in the key. See the direction that it points.
Mm-hmm.
Feel the direction it tells you to move in.
Mm-hmm.
It will also tell you, being a clock, being aligned to the idea of your density of time, whether you are the you that has enough time to explore the direction in which it points. Stand in silence. Stand tall. Stand like a standing stone. Stand in the center of the circle that is the shape of the key. And you will know which direction to move in and how much time you have to do it in. Do you understand?
What if I want more time?
You will use the key to create more time. That is one of the secrets of the key, that you can manipulate the concept of time and space while in it.
Right.
Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
The key is not in just your dimension, it is in all dimensions. Do you understand? Become the standing stone, and you will be the connection, the beam of intention between that dimension and all dimensions. And you will truly understand how to use the key. Do you understand?
Yes.
Enjoy your Britain.
Thank you.
There will be disconnection momentarily. Proceed.
I want to thank you for being here and meeting us. We're all very excited about meeting you. And thank you so much for what you and the association do. I've got a question about my health in a way. About 15 years ago, I met a marvelous man who taught me some wonderful things about the human voice and how to make it very strong. And previous to that, I'd never done anything like this. I started teaching, and it just grew and grew as though I was channeled. I started to learn things about sound and about vowels that excited me and left me a little tired. But the voice got stronger, and now I'm about to go out to the world with this knowledge to make all voices strong. And I wonder if I have the energy. Sometimes my heart thumps and I can't breathe. I sometimes forget to breathe, in fact. And I wondered...
In a sense, these are all manifestations that let you know that you are the energy. It is a matter of allowing yourself to remove the doubts and remove the blocks and allow the electromotive force to move through you in that way. It is when you become open in that sense as a pure channel to that all the energy will be provided, because you will not be doing it on your own. It will be flowing through you in such a way that you will find that you are supported buoyantly upon a sea of energy in that way, and will not have to fear for the idea of lack of energy. Do you understand this concept of becoming a hollow tube?
Thank you. Yes.
Become a hollow tube that resonates electromotively. Do you understand?
Yes. We
know you understand because you are very familiar with vibration in this way.
Yes. Thank you.
One moment. There will be some ideas of the readings of the aspect of your civilization called Tibet, and the idea of the resonances that are created in Tibet that can be of some assistance to you in creating a catalyst to open up, to unlock certain understandings of how you can be open.
Good. Yes. Thank you. So not to worry, it will work.
We thank you for your creation, for your openness, and the blessings in this way that are part and parcel of all beings in creation that we share together and send to you through unconditional love.
Thank you. Can I ask one more question? Years ago, I lost a little middle son at 2 years of age, and it felt like he didn't want to stay in the family. He had been the baby, then he was the middle one, and it seemed like he had lost a position in the family, and so he left us. And I've always wondered, did he have to grow up, since he had that amnesic state when he first came in? Did he have to grow up, or did he instantly become what he was before he was born as a being? I mean, his knowledge. Do you know?
The path ends whether a decision was made to be a guide. The path ends where a decision was made to be a guide. This is all we can say at this time. The disconnection must occur now. We thank you for the sharing in this way of the presentation of so many of the faces of the totality that you are. Your answer will come in your dreams from others other than us in this way. We will participate, but that others will bring you the answer in your dreams. Resonate to the vibration of that being, and you will have your answer in the dream. Adjustment must now be made. Adjust, if you wish, the physical amplification device as well. For what? We thank you for co-creation of the participation of allowing more totality of our association to interact with you. This will have provided an opportunity for more acceleration to occur in your society so that you can take from the energy that was shared this day from that level and allow there to be more acceleration in your blending, more taking of responsibility unto yourselves of the reality that you prefer to create as a totality upon your planet. We thank you for the opportunity to assist in the acceleration in this way and to allow us the experience of viewing the totality of your being from a different point of view than I usually get an opportunity to do. I thank you for that gift, and we may now continue with sharing.
Greetings, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Good day. It's wonderful speaking with you again.
Of you as well again and for the first time.
And for the first time. I always experience a sense of anxiety when I come up to talk to you.
Sense of excitement.
My energy accelerates tremendously. My heart beats and it is. Thank you. I understand that I contain the answer.
Okay.
And there are several aspects that I've been unable to come to terms with. Occasionally I still experience migraine headaches. And I'm also aware that my vision through contacts has been tremendously improved, but I recently went through taking out the contacts and realizing how deficient in vision I really have become. With them, I have a sense of well-being, but without them, I feel very insecure. It's funny I'm bringing this up because I didn't think that I was going to address anything but the migraine headaches.
And so, as you said, you are unfolding some of the answers that are within you.
Yes. I've been following my excitement for a number of years, to the extent that I'm capable of tapping into it, and it continues to grow. Just recently I've been given an opportunity to really follow something that thrilled me beyond repair.
Repair?
Yeah. Like that? I don't know if apparently there's a connection to all of these things that are coming out right now. But I'm
What is this thing that thrills you beyond repair?
I've been able to put together an expo at work which allowed me to invite 30 different agencies in the health, environmental, and rideshare concerns. And we presented a very fun-like, festive occasion for the employees at my facility, which was about 200.
All right.
And we had
congratulations.
Thank you. It was really more than I had expected. The amount of love that came back to me, I still have a sense of being overwhelmed by it.
All right. Go with the flow.
I'm
Immerse
integrating
yourself
it.
in that unconditional love. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it.
Okay.
You believe that?
Yes.
All right. Are you sure?
Yes. I do feel grounded in it, and there are times when I just am so hyper about it that I'm looking for a place to rest.
Looking for a place to rest?
Internally. The excitement and the overwhelming amount of flood of love that's coming in causes me to feel off center.
Like you cannot contain it all?
Yes, exactly. I've used that phrase.
All right. Do remember, the idea and the concept of doing what excites you the most also contains a pace that is restful and energizing for you. The idea of doing what excites you the most is not hecticness. It is allowing yourself to know that you can operate at a pace that is the proper orchestration for the song that you are. And that you can get everything you need to get done without pressure, without the concept in that sense of being under pressure, on a deadline, pressed for time, backed into a corner, having to exhaust yourself and then having to rest so that you can repair since you have gone beyond repair. Allow yourself to understand that the concept of doing what excites you automatically contains the timing that allows you to do it in a way that is also exciting for you.
The process provided that. I was given assistance by many, many people.
Yeah,
I didn't carry it alone, so it unfolded very gently, easily, effortlessly.
Then what do you need to rest from?
The aftermath.
What aftermath?
The event happened, and during the last day there was all of this wonderful energy that came in, and I found that I was so exhausted, really.
Yes.
That reliving it, even in talking about it, not today, but for the day after, was difficult because it accelerated me back into that place of am I having trouble here?
Accelerated you back
into that place where I was the day that it happened. There was an awful lot
of...
I was away from my center.
All right.
And it was exhausting.
Yes, being away from your center is exhausting, yes.
Okay.
But this is what we are saying. Doing what excites you the most, if you do it in the way that is true to your center, will never be exhausting. So this can give you a clue that even though you may be, quote-unquote, pursuing the thing that excites you the most, you may not really be allowing it to flow through you in a trusting way that allows you to benefit by being in your center and allowing it to unfold around you effortlessly, truly effortlessly. You understand?
Yeah, I do.
Because you do not need the exhaustion.
No.
To do what excites you the most.
I think the deservability issue is part of it.
All right, yes. I'll ask you a question very directly, if I may. What is it you don't deserve? It doesn't have to be your voice that says this, that answers this question. What is it you don't deserve? What do you hear? What's the first thing you hear when you hear that question? What's the answer that comes to you most quickly?
It all.
Say it again.
It all.
Say it again.
All of it.
Say it louder.
Every bit of it.
Louder.
Everything.
Louder.
All of it.
Thank you. All of it. You don't deserve all of it. Why not? Why not?
The child in me
has been what? Crushed, flattened, talked out of it, suppressed?
Yes.
All right. But you are learning how to play, yes?
Oh, playing hasn't been a problem. The child in me on that level is very much alive and well.
When you did the thing that excited you the most, if you were exhausted, you weren't playing. If you were playing, you wouldn't have been exhausted. Not in the way you mean. You understand? You were not playing when you became exhausted. Do you understand the difference?
Yes.
You have not yet completely learned how to truly play. In a way, at least at that moment, that would allow you to know that play flows through you effortlessly, without exhausting you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand the difference?
Yes, I've had that. I know what it is. I've felt that. I know.
Oh, yes, I know you have done it.
Yeah.
The point is that you now desire to do it all the time.
Absolutely.
Well, you can. You can. You can. Give yourself permission.
Is that what the migraine headaches are about?
Yes, to some degree.
How
Give
about
yourself
position?
permission.
Okay.
It is issues of deservability.
All of it?
All of it. All of it. Give yourself permission. If it makes it easier, instead of saying, I give myself permission to have it all, tell yourself that you have permission to play with it all. Does that seem easier?
Yes. I've been on that end of it where I've been able to give myself permission.
Well, you know, it's just as easy to take the permission away in the next moment.
Maybe that's it, because 99% of the time I feel like I'm in the flow.
All right.
Very rarely do I get these reminders that
All right.
I'm not...
Let's go back to what we originally talked about when we began this interaction. When you start to follow what excites you, it becomes increasingly difficult to move ahead if what you are choosing is even one small percentage off the razor's edge. That is how pure your play must be. You understand? You can be 99%, but if you start to choose that one small thing that's not a part of it, it's going to bring you to a screeching halt. And the 99% will wait for the rest until you get back on track 100%. You understand?
Okay.
Do you understand?
You're
not sure?
Did. No, because I'm still wondering why, when I'm in the middle of having my dreams come true, being surrounded by love, I would feel off-center. And I understand it's the deservability, but what does that have to do with the razor's edge and choices that don't contain everything?
Because the idea of doing in your reality only the thing that really is you revolves very strongly around issues of deservability, because when you are raised in your society, more often than not, 99% of the time, you are told that you do not deserve what you dream you are. So deservability is directly connected to the idea of being focused on the one thing that really is you.
Okay.
You understand the connection? Can you get in touch with the things in your past that you may have bought into, that told you you did not deserve to fully live your dream, that told you, well, all right, you deserve to see it, you deserve to taste it, you deserve to come within one fraction of an inch, but you can't really have it all. That's too much for anyone. That's too much. You want too much. What's your name?
Linda.
Linda! Linda! Is that what you were called as a child?
Yes.
Was there any other name? What about when your parents were angry?
No.
What did they call you when they were angry?
Was Linda.
Just Linda?
Yeah.
All right. Linda! Linda!
What?
Are you paying attention?
Yes.
Are you? Are you sure?
Leave me alone.
I thought so. I thought so. You're always off dreaming. You always want this, you always want that. Well, get a grip. This is the real world now, Linda. You can't have it all.
Yes, I
Stick
can.
to what you know. You can't have it all.
Yes, I can.
Oh. Are you contradicting me?
No.
You're not? Well, it sounds like it. How are you not contradicting me? I am telling you can't have it all. You're telling me you can. That's a contradiction. Young lady, go to your room. What makes you think you can have it all?
Because I want it all.
Oh, you want it all. What a selfish little girl you are, Linda. Is this how we raised you?
I don't care.
You don't care about your parents. You hate us. You're a bad little girl. How can you be so uncaring? Is this how we raised you? This is not our little girl. We disown you. How are you doing, Linda?
I'm really looking at the sabotage that I was capable of doing for myself.
All right. Are you having a good time?
Yeah.
I am.
I know, I love you.
It's nice to hear you laugh.
Thank you. That's where I'm the most centered.
Yes. So, to keep it simple, when you feel that you've forgotten how to play, just laugh a little. It's all right, because you can have it all. You are a child of God. You understand? Child of the infinite, child of all that is. God is all that is. Child of creation. Laugh anytime you want. It's your playground. Does this help you?
A lot.
Thank you for allowing us to talk to your heart. There will be more that will unfold from this conversation, because this conversation has taken place on many levels other than just outward and auditorily. You understand?
Yes.
Pleasant dreams to you, dear child.
I'll be looking forward to
Our
your
love
visit.
to you.
Thank you.
Perfect, and you?
Oh, just fine, just
Oh,
fine.
thank you very much.
Hey, those guys are really great. They got to come back again.
They are always here and now.
Yeah, bring them back again. That was pretty good. I've never seen the physical channel stand up in 6 years. That was pretty.
It is time that it is represented by a blending going on within the channel as we now approach the completion of the 8th year of the channeling.
You gonna tap dance with us next time, or
maybe
do a soft shoe? That'd be kind of cool. Now, I wanted to talk to you about the cultivation of civilization on our planet.
Cultivation?
Yeah, in other words...
You mean like a potato?
Well, like a field of potatoes.
Oh, all right.
All right. You know, you got this guy with a farm, and he's going to go off there, and he's going to cultivate another area, and then cultivate another area. And, you know, like a band of city-states or one continent will go across the ocean. And, well, what I understand, that's pretty much how our Earth came together. You decided, well, we're going to cultivate this world, and you guys can put a piece of people down there. We'll put another piece of people down there. And so we have so many races from...
One moment.
Okay.
There are only 2 races on your planet. Well, all right. There are many races on your planet, but only 2 that are what you would call sentient thinking races. Human and cetacean.
So all these, what we call races in the human race, they're all from the same place originally? We're not indigenous, so...
No, the idea is that you have many different ethnic groups, but you are one human race.
Oh, to be sure, but are our roots, the various peoples on our ethnic, in the ethnographics of our planet...
There has been some intermingling from other civilizations in the past.
Okay.
Yes.
What I was getting at is there are a lot of political trends within our world right now. They're very interesting and very engaging.
Yes.
And I wanted to ask you about what are the political trends, say, within your sphere of influence, the association sphere of influence, vis-a-vis our growth into joining your association.
Can you be more explicit about that question?
Well, you guys are avid observers at least, and obviously you're participating. So are things going, say, as scheduled? Are things going too fast? Or is there such a thing? Are we... Because there's a lot of things that are kind of unsettling, that are going on
yes.
on our planet. And,
we have recently indicated that there are certain events upon your planet that are actually occurring faster than we expected.
Okay.
You actually are accelerating a little bit ahead of schedule.
All right, let's pick out a particular event. Supposedly we have aliens that have actually are actually taking up residence within our government structure. And there's been an exchange. Is there such a thing going on? First
yes.
of all. Okay. How is that progressing? Is that...
It is coming to a head. For there is now enough leakage, and again will be, over the course of your 1992, enough leakage of information that the majority of your public will begin to realize that this is actually happening, and it will cause many individuals to have to explain certain things.
Mm-hmm. Now, there are powers beyond the political powers that are actually pulling the strings as far as I see the world. There's the great economic powers, for instance, that have been around for 300-400 years that actually pull the strings of the planet.
In a sense, as you mean that, we understand. Yes.
Illuminati societies, secret societies, things like that.
The Illuminati is a front and does not really exist.
Well,
it is what might be called a misdirection of information.
Okay. Well, they're trying to move us the way they want it. They want to make economic gains, no?
It would be, although again I understand what you mean,
yeah.
Perhaps a wise idea not to say them and us, because you are all one.
Well, ultimately we're all one. But you can always fall back on that.
Not anymore ultimately. This is what this whole idea is all about.
Okay.
Taking back your responsibility means it is not ultimately one anymore. It means it is becoming one now. Taking back the responsibility. Now, the individuals that you are referring to use your terminology, have set up certain structures, yes, but they have not yet realized that the type of structures they have set up are beginning to collapse under their own weight, because they do not base themselves on the collective, and thus they cannot endure the transition. That is why we have suggested that when individuals begin to create new systems that will then be ready to replace the old systems, it won't be a matter of having to change the old system, but simply replace the old system when it collapses of its own weight. That is why you must be ready, in that sense, by using your imagination and your creativity to create new systems now, so that you can implement them when the timing is correct. And concurrently with this is the idea of communicating to all individuals that this system of working together is what really will benefit everyone. That the kind of power that your individual society members have been used to learning is not really what power is about. That working together is true self-empowerment. The collective, in that sense, while maintaining your individuality, is true empowerment, and everyone will gain. These kinds of communications are now very important to occur upon your planet, and as soon as each and every individual takes it upon themselves to begin to communicate with every other individual, particularly those that you have created to be in government or economic positions of power, this idea, this notion of oneness, this notion of cooperation while maintaining individuality and expressing the understanding that there is more than enough for everyone. There will never be a lack. Never, never, never be a lack. Then everyone will begin to relax and allow everyone to benefit. The only reason that some people have squirreled themselves into corners and pretend, in a sense, to believe they are the ultimate masters in control or attempt to be in control is because they believe in lack. They have been brought up believing in that there's not enough to go around. You people have begun to use almost nothing of your planetary resources. Nothing. And I do not mean the resources that have to be depleted. You are not overpopulated.
To be sure.
You simply have not used the area on your planet in the way that it could be used, because you have not used the unlimited energy that is available from your planet and from the universe to transform your planet into a garden.
Sure.
Which you could do. And you could do easily.
So how do we build a flash matrix?
We will talk about that another time. A flash matrix is a little bit beyond the technology that you have available to you at this moment, although there are rudimentary versions of this idea that can be discussed.
What's it related to?
It is related to the idea of the actual holographic structure. It is set up, arranged in such a way. Let me see if we can access the concept that makes sense. It is like creating a symbolic device that reveals and amplifies the already existing holographic template, the matrix that underlies the entire physical universe. It is a device that has aligned itself with that matrix in such a way and can channel the energy of that matrix in such a way that it takes advantage of the primary fundamental quality of the matrix to begin with. That is, its ability to be all dimensions at once. It is an arrangement of physical matter that amplifies the underlying matrix and reflects that amplification back onto itself in such a way as to create a point that is all dimensions, all at once. We will explain this in more detail at another time.
There's going to be a quiz later. You guys better get this.
We thank you at this time for your sharing.
Thank you, Bashar. Appreciate it.
Each and every one of you at this time, we extend our unconditional love and appreciation to you all for this sharing, for allowing us to dream you, and for dreaming us. Our love to you, fond and exciting. Good day.